Hey everyone! On today's video, I am going to share with you several wooden home decor DIYs using supplies from Dollar Tree. I'll also be using Crafter Squares vinyl paper on all the projects as well, so continue watching to see what I make with them. For the first project, I am going to be turning this adorable little MDF house into a customizable letterboard. Dollar Tree carries an assortment of vinyl and glitter paper, and today I am going to be using this adorable floral pattern. I'll also be using a couple packs of these wooden farmhouse letter tiles and tumbling tower blocks. The first thing I do is remove the glitter sticker on the top of the house. It's made out of foam, so it does come out easily. I take out the roll of vinyl. It does have a sticky back, so no gluing needed. I place the house on top and I trace that all around. And then I cut it out. To apply, I start at the bottom. I like to peel off a little bit of the backing on the bottom and then fold it down. And I just match the bottom edge of the vinyl to the MDF board and then peel off the backing while pressing down on the vinyl. I make sure there are no air pockets where the vinyl meets the roof, and then I remove the excess vinyl with a craft knife. I seal the edge with a sanding sponge. I sand downwards all around, and that gives the house a nice polished look. Next, I glue the tumbling blocks together. First, I glue 3 blocks together end to end, and this will go on the bottom of the house. Then I glue 2 together, and this will go in the middle. I stain the blocks with Minwas dark walnut. I do want to keep it dark to match the strips of wood on the roof. Once that dries, I apply hot glue on the side of the set of 3 blocks, and I place that towards the bottom of the house like so, and I make sure it's flush with the surface. Then I glue the 2 blocks in the middle. I bought a couple packs of these wooden tile letters at Dollar Tree. They came with 26 letters. And I spell out our home and display them on the house. This house came out absolutely adorable, and I love that I can display different words on it and change them out whenever I feel like it. For the next DIY, I'm going to make a cutting board stand. I'm going to use this plastic cutting board from Dollar Tree. There are a variety of colors to pick from, and I got the bluish aqua shade. I'll also be using 1-gallon paint stir sticks, this chalkboard easel from Dollar Tree, and 3 tumbling tower blocks. I'm going to trim the paint sticks down to the width of the cutting board. So I place that on top, measure, mark, and trim them down, and I use a miter box and saw to do that. I'm going to paint the cutting board, and since it is plastic and non-porous, I give it a light sanding all around, especially on the shiny edges. You really want to dull that down, and this will give the paint something to adhere to. I paint the board with white chalk paint from Waverly, and I brushed that on all over. Although I will be leaving the back unpainted, you can certainly paint the back as well. I'm not going for an opaque look. I do want some of the blue underneath peeking through. With a sanding sponge, I lightly distress the edges just to show more of the blue underneath. The paint comes off easily, so you definitely want to sand light-handed. I paint one side of the paint sticks with the shade Dark Walnut from Minwas, and then I wipe it down before it dries. I paint a couple sides of the tumbling blocks as well, although these really won't be seen except for a couple of the sides. I also paint the wood on the chalkboard easel. Now I did end up adding one more trimmed paint stir stick, which in the end will make the piece look even better. Next, I place the wood pieces that will be glued on the board down because I want to sand those areas where the wood touches the cutting board so that when I glue it, it will have a stronger bond. So with a small piece of sanding sheet, I remove the paint, and I'm really just sanding the raised areas along the edges. Next, I glue 3 tumbling blocks together. Then I glue that onto the base or the side opposite the handle, like so. Then I apply hot glue on the back of the paint stick and place that above the tumbling blocks. I take another paint stick and I apply wood glue on the side and edge that will rest on the blocks, and then I place it down like so. I want to add more support, so I take another tumbling block and apply wood glue on the narrow side, and I place that just underneath the paint stick, making sure it's flush with the edge of the paint stick. Then I apply glue on the edge of the paint sticks as well as a block, and I hold the board upright and glue another paint stick, making sure it's upright on its side. And finally, I glue the last paint stick on top like so. And to glue the easel on the back, I will be using E6000 just to make sure it doesn't come apart. If you do paint the back, make sure to leave some areas where the easel will touch unpainted for a stronger bond. Once everything is dried, I seal the stand with polyacrylic from Minwas. Now you can stop here, I think it already looks stunning, but to match the first DIY, I'm going to add a strip of the floral vinyl right in the middle, and then I tie some jute rope on the handle. And I am done. This came out absolutely adorable, and it's sturdy enough to place your phone, a tablet, or even a small book on. For the final project, I will be using the small wooden tray that I purchased at Dollar Tree. I'm going to stain it with Waverly Antique Wax, which I diluted with a little bit of water. Now, one thing with staining wood pieces from Dollar Tree, a lot of times there will be areas that won't take the antique wax or the stain because of glue that has dried on the surface. You can try sanding it, but honestly, sometimes it's hard to tell which areas need sanding. You can also paint it instead, or try to blend or darken those areas with acrylic paint, which is what I usually end up doing. Thankfully on this one, most of the unstained areas that pop up are on the inside of the tray, which I will be covering up anyway. I take out the roll of floral vinyl paper and place the tray on top, and then I trace it and cut it out. I peel out a section of the backing and fold it down, and then I place it on the tray. I start on a corner, making sure it's placed nicely on the edge, and I carefully peel off the backing while pressing down on the vinyl paper to remove any air bubbles. And then I remove the extra vinyl with a craft knife. And finally, I wrap the handles with cotton twine from Dollar Tree. I cut out about 3 feet per side, and I just tuck in the ends using a skewer, but you can add a dab of hot glue to keep it in place as well. And we are done. I love the floral vinyl, and the cotton twine complements it beautifully. These 3 make a beautiful set for your home or as a gift, and you can definitely customize the style to fit yours. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, bye!